Now, for this edition of Hello, Mr. President, we'll be looking at our environment and the importance of preserving our environment. Our friends over at Eco-Conscious Citizen are joining us to talk to us about what's happening at parks and gardens. I have been joined by Samari Samson Eliasu, who is the Deputy Coordinator of Eco-Conscious Citizens, as well as Awula Serwah Asante. She's the Coordinator of Eco-Conscious Citizens. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thank you both so much for being here. I'll start with you, Awula Serwah, but before I even get to you, Eliasu, can you tell us a bit about what's going on with our Parks and Gardens headquarters?
Well, good morning to your cherished viewers. And I think when you look at Parks and Gardens, we were there here and there. We started last year where we learned they were going to rezone, and over 140 trees and 5,000 species of plants were felled to pave way for the construction of an office complex, which is quite devastating to have such a thing at that particular place, a place which was reserved for parks, purposely for parks and gardens, for us to rezone it for construction of buildings, which is unacceptable, which we should not all sit aloof to watch people to do such a thing. And we at Eco-Conscious Citizens, we are putting efforts and calling on Ghanaians to come and calling on state institutions to set up and to take over their mandate, because Parks and Gardens is an establishment to rather acquire lands and establish parks and gardens, but not to rezone and not to claim the already existing lands for other purposes.
So we'll get into the actual problem, but what exactly are the benefits of preserving the environment?
We all know that even right from creation, God created us and He didn't just put us in any place, but it was in a garden. So we know that it is very necessary and important. And as a result of punishment from the Bible, we are taken out of the Garden of Eden. So meaning, when we are to clear our environment, we are rather punishing ourselves and future generations. For instance, we have plants that purifies our air for us to breathe. We have the trees and other things that are there protecting, and they are serving as windbreaks. We also get these herbal medicines and other medicines from these trees and plants all over us. And it also serves as a place where you can go walk and refresh your minds and memories. And it is something that would rather help us to be able to have healthy people living in a society. For instance, some of these things, mental health and other things, are associated to things of that nature. I think studies have shown that people who live in a cleaner and a nicer environment, who see green nature, give birth to beautiful children and well-responsible children. So for instance, so that is why it is sometimes encouraged that pregnant women should rather go close to green environment and green nature for them to be able to give birth to well-stabilized and intelligent children. So these are some of the benefits that we as human beings and as society, we derive from parks and gardens. We also have, for instance, after work you may be exhausted, you go home, at least you can go there, have a walk between the trees, and then you listen to the sounds and cries of the birds alone. It's something that is mind refreshing.
Okay, so let me come to you now. How does it benefit us as a society to preserve our environment, especially now that we're dealing with coronavirus?
Well, we know that in order to fight any disease, not just coronavirus, any disease, we need a strong immune system. Now, as Samari has just said, trees purify the air. There's a relationship between trees and human beings. They are vital to our survival. They produce the oxygen, and we give them the carbon dioxide we breathe out. So if you go on felling all our trees like we are doing and increasing the concrete jungle, the air we are breathing is not going to be very pure. And therefore, our immune system is not going to be as strong as it needs to be. And therefore, we find it more difficult to fight diseases, including the coronavirus. So now more than ever, we should not be felling trees. We should rather be doing what we are supposed to be doing. And if I may add, Parks and Gardens was set up for a number of purposes. One of them was for Parks and Gardens to acquire lands, to set up parks, not to build offices. It's not a real estate company. It is supposed to be educating the public on the importance of trees and parks to our survival. Now, in most civilized countries, every little settlement you see, there's a park. So Cantonment should have a park, Laboni should have a park, La should have a park. But we won't see that happening. And what is really sad is that the existing parks we have already been built on. And instead of Parks and Gardens acquiring public lands for Parks and Gardens, they are rather trying to build on existing land, which is just totally unacceptable.
So as a people, how do we all get on board to raise awareness? Because I must say we received lots and lots of emails complaining about this same issue with Parks and Gardens. That's why we've even brought you here today to help all of our viewers understand the importance of preserving that land.
And thank you so much. And if I might add, our first president had a lot of foresight. So he acquired land for Parks and Gardens. And he saw the importance of it and therefore made Parks and Gardens a ministry under a cabinet minister called Okansi. So you can see how important he felt Parks and Gardens were. That's why it was headed by a cabinet minister who was the direct ear. Now, over the years, Parks and Gardens has been downgraded, and now it's a department under the Ministry of Local Government. So we all need to understand that we have a constitutional duty under the current constitution to protect and safeguard the environment. So to protect and safeguard the environment, we cannot stand idly by when the little green area we have is going to be built on. And what is worrying is that the intention is to rezone the area. Currently, it's green civic. We all know what green is. We know what civic is. We want it to be rezoned to exclusively civic, which means that there'll be no need to even have one tree there. And we need to resist
the difference to us, people who don't know the difference between green civic and exclusively civic, and the importance of not having an exclusive civic place.
Yes. When you say green, in fact, it was initially supposed to be green. But the only reason why they put the civic there is that, as you know, Parks and Gardens has an administrative office where the director and others are. So that's where the civic side came in.
So when you say green, it's supposed to be just plants,
green, because that's
nature,
why it was acquired from the people of La. It was acquired, as Mr. Samari said, that the environment is very important, a green environment for relaxation apart from everything else. And we all know that a healthy mind is a healthy body. So there's a correlation. Now civic was added so that you could have the office building there. Now when you want to make it exclusively civic, it means that you want to throw away the green part and just have buildings there. And this is wrong, this is worrying, and we're calling on all civic-minded Ghanaians to take up their constitutional duties and challenge this. And we all know that His Excellency the President has asked us to not be spectators, but to be active citizens. So as active citizens, we cannot sit idly by, especially as we know that currently Ghana has lost over 70% of its forest cover. We can see floods coming because there are no trees to yes, exactly. And we can also see that there's concrete jungle everywhere. Go around Morning Star, there's, I think, what they call is it a cantonment city? It's just concrete. And what we are trying to say is that the assemblies should make it a law that if you want a building permit, you must plant a few trees on the compound and in front. That would sort of fulfill the mandate of Parks and Gardens.
Okay.
Yes.
So, Samari, what specific policy makers would you like us to begin to hold accountable for preserving Parks and Gardens?
Just like Awula Serwah rightfully said, when you look at Parks and Gardens, the reason why it was even set up was that they should rather
preserve the
environment and to also own it as a duty and a responsibility to educate the public about the importance of trees and how we can even plant trees. And they were also to acquire lands for Parks and Gardens. So for instance, it lies in the powers of the Parks and Gardens Department, the Environmental Protection Agency, and other stakeholders, lands commissions within that particular jurisdiction, to fight and then to look at the way forward for us to get a greener environment. And even not only that, but you come to take into consideration, Ministry of Work and Housing, like she said, they need to also add it as a responsibility that every house will get a tree.
Actually, that would be LADMA that would have to do it, the municipal assembly. But we all know that Parks and Gardens is located at Cantonment. Cantonment comes under Ladadekotopon Municipal Assembly. So all municipal assemblies in Accra, Kumasi, wherever, when you are granting building permits, you need to put it as a condition. And that's the assembly that does that because of decentralization. So all assemblies should make it a condition that before you get your building permit, you must plant trees. If you're unable to do that, they should get Parks and Gardens to come and do it for you and bill you. And that is a service that Parks and Gardens is mandated to provide. It's supposed to be spreading public awareness of the importance of trees. It's supposed to be embarking on national tree planting exercises. It's not supposed to turn itself into a real estate organization and start building office complexes on lands that have been taken and acquired for parks and gardens.
Wow. So if we're all watching and we want to join in this campaign, where do we even start from? Because you know other countries, even countries that are far more developed than us, are preserving their environment.
Thank you very much.
It makes no sense that we are not doing it.
Yes, and it makes no sense. In fact, you made a very important point, preserving. Another thing Parks and Gardens is supposed to do, they are supposed to take care of endangered plant species. They are supposed to work with the botany department, and they are supposed to follow the green global agenda. So anybody who wants to join, you're welcome to contact Eco-Conscious Citizens, ecoconsciouscitizens@gmail.com, ecoconsciouscitizens@gmail.com. And even without us, you need to make your voice heard. We're in a democracy. We've been told to be active citizens. You need to register your displeasure at Parks and Gardens Department being used to build an office complex. Anybody who wants to build an office complex can go to other places and build it. There's already an existing office at Parks and Gardens. You want to remodel it, we have nothing against that, so long as it's done in an eco-friendly, but it beggars belief. It beggars the belief that anybody will think it's appropriate to go and build an office block on Parks and Gardens land. And remember, 150 trees were already felled on Parks and Gardens land last year, and that particular part has been left, and now we're going to destroy something else. That is what we call environmental vandalism.
And isn't all this captured in the SDG goals as well?
It is. It is, obviously, it is.
So as a country, are we not failing ourselves by doing this? And what impact would that have on the future generation?
You see, I don't think we really care, or we are actually thinking of the future generation. Everywhere you go, you just see high rises. I don't think there's the understanding that, you know, ecotourism. In fact, part of the functions of Parks and Gardens is for ecotourism, where money can be made for, you know, you can generate income through ecotourism, but we haven't got it. We think that the only way you can generate income is just build high rises, and we don't remember the future generations. What are they going to breathe? What air are they going to breathe? So you're absolutely right. As I speak, we keep on hosting green conferences, but you know, we just pay lip service to it. So what I want every viewer to do is to go and look at the reasons why Parks and Gardens have been set up and challenge the authorities to fulfill the mandate, whether it's Ministry of Local Government, because as I say, they now are overseeing Parks and Gardens, which comes under them, whether it's the Lands Commission, which should stop giving its consent. Lands Commission, if you're listening, stop giving your consent for lands that are meant for parks to be built on. And I challenge anybody to tell me the number of parks we have in Accra right now, which have not been built on.
And it's not just an Accra problem. Across
it's everywhere. It's Kumasi. It's
Even
everywhere.
if you take a look at the Kawukudi Park, now they're putting an office complex there. Yes, Kawukudi Park just here. One of the most popular parks.
So what is this fascination with offices? What is this fascination? We need to clear our minds and remember that we, as Mr. Samari said, God put us in the Garden of Eden, because God understood the benefits of plants to our psyche and to our mental and physical health. It's a punishment to go and put ourselves in the concrete jungle. So for today, I'm challenging every Ghanaian to take up his or her constitutional duties seriously and to challenge the authorities, whether it's local government, whether it's Ladadekotopon Municipal Assembly, whether it's Lands Commission. We don't want a concrete jungle in Ghana. We're in the tropics, and even in colder climates, they see the value of parks. You would know that in other countries, even in Kenya, you have so many parks. So why are we in the tropics
doing that?
Doing what we are doing?
Thank you so much, and we'll be following up with them. And as I'm listening to you, I mean, I'm sure Wangari Maathai is clapping for both of you for the work that you're doing, and we will all do well to educate ourselves and hold our policymakers accountable to save our environment, if not for us, for the future generation. Thank you so much, Samari Samson Eliasu, for being with us. He's the Deputy Coordinator of Eco-Conscious Citizens, and we also had with us Awula Serwah Asante, who's the Coordinator of Eco-Conscious Citizens. We'll be following up on this matter to ensure that we preserve our environment. Thank you both so much.
Thank you for having us.
Being with us. Again, if you have any problems in your community, issues that are hindering your personal development, and you want us to show the entire country, please take your phone out and record an up to 1 minute video. Send it to us at hello-mr-president-tv@gmail.com, or send it to us via WhatsApp. WhatsApp line is 0550-585832, and we will do well to show it every Wednesday at 9:30 on Breakfast Daily. We received more messages, so we'll take a look at the message and then continue the conversation.
Mr. President, you promised Wasa Menfi West constituency would benefit from the one district, one factory policy. To date, no progress has been made. We in that constituency are suffering from unemployment. We don't have any work to do because there is no support coming from anywhere. Are we not citizens of this country? Please, I want to know what is going on. Thank you.
So there are so many issues in this one message that we've received. Issues of unemployment, issues of one district, one factory that was supposed to help the youth finally get jobs and a future that they cannot even imagine because they have not seen any of these factories being built. We have on the line Moses Kwabena Boache. He's the administrator for Amenfi Firms GH Limited, which falls under the one district, one factory. He'll help us understand exactly what's going on in this community. Good morning, Mr. Boache.
Yeah, good morning.
Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Can you please tell us a bit about exactly what this one district, one factory project is and the solutions we're supposed to provide the people in this community?
Yes, good one once again for having me. The point of correction is Amenfi East. I'm speaking from Amenfi East District.
Okay.
Under the one district, one factory.
Thank you.
Not Amenfi West, Amenfi East.
Okay.
Which is basically what you're proposed to be the head office.
Okay. Thank you for that correction.
Okay. Basically, like the person really want to know what's actually happening. We in the Amenfi East, we are happy and glad to tell you that the 1D, 1F has taken off. Over the past 2 years, that's why we started doing our farms. So basically, we've got about 9,000 acres of land, of which about 600 has been cultivated with cassava. We are into starch production. Yes, so we are into starch production, and before you can have a factory, you need to have your raw materials ready, at least halfway ready, so that as you build up your factory, your raw materials will also be ready for you to have it. So we started over the years, and we've got like over 600 acres of land being cultivated, of which most of the tubers are even ready to ripe and stuff like that. But the factory itself, just last week, the engineers and the electricity people who are going to connect the electricity are on site. As I'm speaking to you now, the engineers are on site with the surveyors making sure where to site the factory. The site has been done already, so actually we are on course.
Yeah, but it sounds as though the youth of this community had high expectations of this factory. What exactly were they told? Were they aware of the timeline?
Yes, basically everybody who is a concerned citizen of Ghana would like to see one district, one factory flourishing. But unfortunately, it hasn't been easy. Looking at the process, you need to go through a lot. And once they've heard, oh, another is doing this, for that matter, everybody is expecting something huge. And it's true. The government has really done well. And we are on course. Like I said, most of the youth in town or the environment are looking for a job to do. And for now, it's not employed that much. But currently, our staff strength is around 120. Workers which are always on farm Monday to Friday working on the farm. And as we start the factory very soon, of which maybe this week or next week we are starting the construction. Basically, a lot of handiwork is going to be come on board. So if you ask me, the expectations are high and stuff like that. It's really true that people are eager to work, and I'm happy to tell you that we've got a lot of applications where people are really looking for.
But is there a way we could have started building the factory while we were working on the farms, or we have to do it like, farming first before putting up the factory?
Yeah, whichever way you look at it is not wrong. But, from our experiences, we've got where the factory will be ready, all the raw materials are not where to be found. But we being a past entrepreneurs, we're looking at going alongside with it. Whilst we're having the factory, then the farm is also getting ready. So we are making sure that things are working on now. It wasn't easy because going through the process, you need to have a license from the EPA, fire service and stuff like that. The land tenant system in Ghana as well. It's been way to side the factory. We could have even done the factory a long time, but when we started it, when the EPA came and said, you guys, you can't have it here because of 1-2 reasons, which is very true. So we have to relocate. So basically some of the plans, drawings and stuff like that has to be amended. That is the delay, and else it could have maybe started a long time this year. But thank God the licenses has been obtained and everything is on course. The contractor is ready, and we hope this week, as I'm even speaking to you now, I just left the construction site now. I'm in the office, but basically this week the construction will be ready, and of which is not going. Everything is on pipeline. It's not going to take much time.
Awesome. So can you give us an idea of maybe timelines so that the young people who are watching and are desperately looking to be employed will know that maybe by this date the factory will start employing people and they can finally contribute something to the factory?
I wish I could, but I'll not be here to tell you that we're going to finish it in 2 or 3 months. I think, like we said, we've got our raw materials ready. So we are even eager to have it as soon as possible, because when the materials are ready and then the factory is not ready, it's not going to take ourselves to. So I'm not going to give you a timeline, but trust me, we are more than eager to have the factory as soon as possible. Okay,
so we'll be following up with you. We hope that you'll be a bit more transparent and engage them more so they also have an idea of exactly what's going on. Thank you so much, Moses Kwabena-Boakye, for being with us, and thank you at home for staying. Nanato 4 will join me shortly, but again, if you have any problems in your community and you want to draw the attention to the president to it, just take out your phone and record an up to 1-minute video. Tell us exactly what's going on in your community and send that message to hello Mr. President TV @gmail.com. You can also WhatsApp us at 0550585832. I was so relieved that the eco citizens joined us to talk about our environment. It's really important what we are leaving behind for the next generation.
I mean, you drive around the children's park and you want to cry. I remember those days growing up as a kid, we actually used to stay in traffic 3 hours. Mommy would complain that, let's turn around and go back home. And we'll cry in the car that we still want to go to the children's park. And now you drive past it and
there's nothing.
You're so heartbroken.
Sad.
It's really sad. It's really sad.
Hi there. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Make sure to subscribe, like, comment, and share with your friends.
This is Breakfast Daily on CitiTV.
Join the Breakfast Daily team Monday through Fridays from 7:30 a.m. to 10. Join us for breakfast daily, only on CitiTV.